second reading.
This bill is set down for committee stage next sitting day. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Crown Minerals Amendment Bill interrupted debate on second reading.
Now, when we were debating this bill last time, Hamish Walker had the floor and he has 9 minutes and 55 seconds remaining to speak.
Madam Chair.
I call Hamish Walker.
Madam Chair, the purpose of this bill is to amend the Crown Minerals Act 1991 to basically maintain the effectiveness and efficiency of the permitting regime established by that Act. This bill aims to address a few gaps and errors and inconsistencies within the Act and to clarify and update statutory provisions. It's a bit like a spring clean. Every now and again you need to have a good spring clean at home just to polish up a few bits and pieces. The National Party, we support this bill, which is the Crown Minerals Act 1991. Most of these changes are reasonably small, but they do add some financial beef to prosecute those who failed to notify the Minister of the change of control of a permit participation company. Failure to notify the Minister could result in a fine or a penalty of up to $800,000, which hopefully will act as a reasonably strong non-deterrent for people to not do so. Just want to acknowledge the Select Committee who oversaw this and made, in my view, some reasonably good changes. The Economic Development, Science and Innovation Committee, who have done a good job, and in particular one of those members who's here today, Andrew Falloon, good common sense stuff. They received 11 submissions, hearing oral evidence from 5 submitters at hearings here in Wellington. The committee recommended that the bill be passed with the following amendments, and I just want to talk about a couple of those amendments, one being around the change of control. Clause 8, which would be inserted with the new section 41AB into the Crown Minerals Act, it sets out how consent should be obtained for the change of control of a permit operator holding a Tier 1 permit, and as introduced, the new section 41AB3, which states that if a person knows or should know that they have obtained the power to exercise or control the exercise of 50% or more of the voting rights of a permit operator without the prior consent of the Minister, they can now be convicted of an offence under section 102A. Just the third change I'd like to briefly discuss. The committee heard from various submitted, and they have decided that they're going to recommend amending new section 41AB along with new clause A14, and that basically makes it very clear that a person can only be convicted of an offence if they knew or should have reasonably known prior to the change in control that they will obtain the power. The late applications for consent, so basically if someone forgets to lodge a change of control, the committee recommended amending clause 8 and inserting new section 41AC2 to confirm that a late application for a change of control must be made before the change of control is complete. That's probably a good place to end it. National Party, we support the bill, and once again we'd just like to congratulate both sides of the House, the Select Committee, for making, I believe, some reasonably good common sense decisions.
I call Fletcher Tabata.
Thanks, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to speak to